Three, two, one. Think. All right, so I have an idea that I want to try to create. So for this idea, I'm gonna first off sketch the overall image out. The overall image is actually just gonna be my character for my comic series, Zeph, my main character. He's gonna be kind of like crouched, looking down slightly. I kind of want to do that, like his head's angled down slightly, so he's kind of looking up. I have one knee up or one down, like he's taking a knee type of deal. So I kind of want to have it like he's in a battle type of overall scene. So he's getting like hurt or whatever, and then have him like about to launch an attack. So essentially, I think I drew something similar when I was doing the previous video of creating a wallpaper where I did like the hands and stuff. That's currently my background wallpaper. If you want to check that out, that'll be in the top right corner, a little card, so you can check that out there. This would be the overall type of feeling that I want, but not from this angle. So what I want to do is actually have the angle being from the ground up. So this would be the ground right here where the red line is, and then upwards would be looking upwards from there at a slight angle. So what I'm going to actually do is go online and then actually create it with the model, and then position it in how I want the positioning, and then draw from there, and we will start the actual art process. Let's jump right into it. So just like with everything I state, there are other means to get poses. If you don't want to utilize this online mannequin way to get the pose, you can actually build yourself an acrylic glass type of table and set up a camera underneath it to get poses like this from the up angle, and just have the camera pointing up, put it in recording mode. If you're the only one there, now get on top of the acrylic glass table or whatever acrylic table and get the angles that you want. Once you finish getting all the angles that you like from the angle that you want, then go back in, scrub through the video feed and grab stills from those and use those stills as your guide or as your reference point to actually start drawing the images themselves. Now, I'm aware that takes a little bit more ingenuity than some people have, but that is another option that you can utilize to get certain angles or poses that you want at said angles. You can also utilize this method for like photography, for like clothing brands and stuff like that, if you want to get a certain angle that is not really achievable through normal means. All right, so here is the pose that we actually came up with after everything was all said and done. And now we are going to go into the actual drawing phase of this whole little project. But first,
hey you, yeah you, did you want a piece of art just like in this video that's created by me, Eldon L. Glover, aka Eldon Draws? Then head over to eldondraws.com/commissions or just eldondraws.com and click the commissions tab, and you can custom order a piece to your liking for me to draw for you. You just gotta commission me over at eldondraws.com/commissions once again. Now back to the video. Now that we created our mannequin pose and I have the angle that I want it to be in, now it's time to actually go over it with a sketch and just get the basic roundabout angle so I can start adding detail and then actually making it my own. But there's a caveat. I decided to actually change the angle, slightly change the angle to this one. After I got the positioning all done and dandy, I started to work on the actual let's say detailing of the piece. For this detailing, I didn't really have a clear plan in mind. I just kind of went with the flow, trying to guesstimate how the items in question would look from said angle. And I think I did a pretty decent job. I wouldn't say perfect job, I'd say decent job of actually doing it and getting it the angles that it should theoretically look like to an extent. Yeah, so it was a lot of brain racking going on when I was trying to do it. I also wanted to do the red work. So what I usually do is I do like the base sketch, then the red work, and then the line art. But I've been doing the skip step method to a certain extent, where my red line art actually becomes my final line art. In order to do that, I just do all the red line art as clean as I possibly can to an extent, and then I just copy and paste the red line art and then just go into the color slider and darken it to make it so it's all black. And I really enjoy that. It's a lot of time saving to be completely honest, because I usually do the red line work relatively clean to begin with. So just to be able to just turn it into the black line work and then just do a little few touch-ups here and there is a lot of time saved. Like a lot of time saved. But once I got that all said and done, I decided to go in and do some coloring. At first, I didn't know if I wanted to actually color the piece or if I wanted to do a like a grayscale type pieces. So like my previous pieces where people are dodging like bullets or a missile and the sword. If you haven't seen those two, they will be linked the top right corner. But I was teetering if I want to do that, continue that like how I do in my comic also. But I decided to do a full color piece. I haven't done color pieces in a while, so I was just like, why not? Let's just do it. I really like how it turned out. I just did the base colors, and then I did the shadowing next. So the two different layers of shadowing, I usually turn the opacity down and one the opacity up to be able to actually get the shadowing that I kind of want. For the second opacity, I actually go through and blend it to give it more of a softer look, and then I leave the first shadow, the bigger shadow, not the darkest shadow, the bigger shadow unblended, so it has that harsh cutoff. And I also go in for the skin, at least I go in with my darker, slightly browner skin tone for Zeph, and I actually go in some areas and make it a little bit darker and then blend it just to give it a little bit more depth, so the color variation, so it doesn't look as flat as it would if I only used the black and then turn down the opacity. It just gives it a little bit more oomph to be able to draw everything together. I do go back in later and actually start I actually go back in, and where the black bloodlines are, I just go over it with a new layer and just go over it with red, and then turn the opacity slightly down with that, so it gives it more of a pop, because I had almost forgot to actually do that. But overall, in the end, once I completed everything, I really, really loved how this turned out. It's exactly how I imagined it. I really love using these mannequins, these digital mannequins, to get the positionings that I want to get, because I've always envisioned myself doing more and more of these, but I just didn't have the means to actually do it. So once I got these mannequins, and it helped me get the positioning correctly, so I don't really have to worry about the foreshortening and shit like that as much. It's just, everything's a whole lot more easier, and I really like how it turned out. Hopefully you guys did too. If you did like how this video turned out and this drawing, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you later. Peace. Bye-bye.